Season 7 of the Montreal Snowhawks franchise was the most disappointing season of the series, but it may have been exactly what this team needed. For the first time in the series, we found a high development rookie quarterback in Eddie Devlin, but on a team coming off back-to-back playoff seasons, I didn't want to start him because he was too low rated, and I wanted to keep building off our previous success with starting quarterback Max Wilbon. Well, things didn't go as planned. Yet another terrible start to the season had us sitting at 2-4 for the third straight year. No big deal, right? Just go on a win streak again. I knew eventually we wouldn't be able to fix a bad start. And this was the season it came crashing down. With Max Wilbon again struggling to open a season, I benched him in a bad game for good. The Eddie Devlin era would begin, and the job was now his. Devlin's X-Factor development gave him a ton of rookie progress and showed his ceiling was far higher than Wilbon's. He had a successful rookie season that gives me a lot of hope going into year 2. And today we play Devlin's second season and see if he can help lead the Snowhawks back to the playoffs. Welcome to Season 8 of Montreal Snowhawks football. It's good to be back with the Snowhawks again today, and we have an opportunity right in front of us. With Eddie Devlin at 23 years old, an X-Factor quarterback entering his second season. He is already only a few points of overall behind Max Wilbon. And if our quarterback can raise the ceiling of this team, I think we can also raise the floor and have a chance to go back to the postseason and make a deeper run. I'm excited to be back to the series today. That last season was tough, but probably a necessary year. Max Wilbon was our quarterback from day one, and I thought he would remain our quarterback until he was regressing. At this point, being 83 overall, I thought he had the job locked down. But things can change quickly. And now I'd say that after this season, he's not likely to be on our roster again, as we have to think about our salary cap, because we have a lot of great players. We've had to pay some of them big money contracts. There'll be more coming down the road. But this is a season now where we need to get things back on track, get back to the plan of competing for a championship. And I'm excited that I think Devlin starts this season at a place where I think he can play at a high enough level for us to get back. Because of the training camp boost, getting him close to a 70 when the season began last year, you could have made the decision right away to make the change. I didn't want to make that decision, so he didn't get all the possible development, which the big stuff comes when you reach 3,500 passing yards. That's really weird that is the most valuable thing you can do as a quarterback in this game, but that milestone is so powerful. And I think this season, starting all the games, if he stays healthy, he'll get there. And the development is based on a player's age, not their time in the league. So being 23 years old still gives him a ton of upside. I think when Max Wilbon hit 3,500, he was 22 and he got like plus 10. We'll see what the case is with quarterback Eddie Devlin. He is the starter. We have Denario Barnes, superstar X-Factor Jeremy Blaylock. Defensively, we have 2 superstar X-Factor corners, and there's no way that Tyrell Matthews is as bad as he was a year ago. He is one of the most talented corners in the league and legitimately played poorly a season ago. It ain't happening again. A bad season last year gave me the chance to give playing time to some new players, and now there are new starters. Miguel Ortiz at X-Factor is now a 79 overall. We need his sack count to pick up this year, but I think he could definitely take a really big leap. Hugh Jackson is now the starting strong safety, taking over Emmett Barnes' old role. And last episode, I talked about maybe moving Barnes to cornerback, and I might toy around with that today. He's not the best athlete. That's what worries me, but in the slot, he might be able to get away with it. I just think if we have two slower corners, we have to play a lot more zone and less man coverage. And we also have a new center in Mitchell Bergstrom. I think that we can start to play him now as the every game center, and he's a superstar. We'll probably use him today in training, and that should really close the gap on Jorge Quintana, who's been a really good center, and I still want to keep on the team. And when it comes to like backup offensive linemen in this series, I will invest whatever salary cap it takes. Injuries do happen. Sometimes a guy just comes out for a couple possessions, but you need someone to step in, and it's important on this team. Both the offense and the defense regressed a season ago. We had the number 2 scoring offense and number 6 scoring defense in year 6. And despite this roster that's still relatively young, only getting better in most areas, we just got worse at everything. Before we advance, these are now the career stats on our roster, as Max Wilbon is our most decorated quarterback, at least for the time being. If Devlin can stay to these averages he showed last year, we're talking about a huge bump in completion percentage, passer rating, yards per attempt. That could be the difference in us making it and winning a championship. Quentin Whiteside is our top running back in team history. He is in regression, though. We'll see how much longer he has a role on this team. The backfield now is led by Elijah Dunn. Jeremy Blaylock is our active leading receiver. He's key to our success. And on defense, Jordan Rivera has over 1,000 tackles. Joel Newton has 47 sacks. And Azareye'h Thomas, 15 interceptions. I said that I would look to make a custom playbook for this team, and that is what I've done. I've simplified some of the formations. I've reduced the number of shotgun formations here. This is the 49ers offense now changed. I wanted to get a little bit more variety in the I formation. We have 4 individual formations there. I wanted more options for single back, especially with having some 3 receiver sets, so we can have our, good personnels in every look we throw at teams. And I've customized all the audibles for every formation. This should make it easier for me to make changes at the line and to just improve the play calling. And if you'd like to check out this playbook, it's called Snowhawks on the PS5 Download Center. After a 7-10 season a year ago, I am ready to turn the page. We won 4 of 5 games to close the year. Let's see if we can continue off of that momentum. I am going to franchise tag Matias Medrano and give him a colossal $32 million payday. We have the cap space. What else are we going to do with it? Well, we could roll over some of that to next year, which we are going to do anyway. But these players now will be hitting free agency, including Cliff Pierman. He has been a good power back for us, but I need to make room for Tyquan Weber. Clifton Levy, the blocking tight end, is going to hit free agency. I'd like a second tight end with a little bit more pass-catching skill, and we picked some good tight ends up a season ago. Robert Williams, Trevon Gregory, Donovan Lauderdale are hitting free agency. I'm going to keep cycling through cornerbacks until I'm happy with our depth. Troy Delgado, Shane Madigan, and longtime linebacker Miguel Portillo will be free agents. Over the past 2 years, we've added a 99-speed superstar wide receiver and an X-Factor rookie quarterback. What could this season bring to the Snowhawks? Welcome to our off-season. Looking through practice squad eligible talent, we have nobody available above a 70 at a position other than fullback, kicker, or punter. Well, another superstar quarterback is out there, Carson Brake. A strong arm quarterback with 94 throw power. Of course, I'm going to sign him to at least have on the practice squad. So now we have 3 quarterbacks, at least superstar dev. I'm going to pick up running back Dontrell Joseph, likely as a practice squad guy, but really well-rounded, a good fit for that. We'll sign defensive tackle Peter Holloman, likely a practice squad option. We'll bring in Kyle Webb, pretty high awareness for a UDFA, and he is the coverage linebacker archetype. Cornerback and edge are two spots where I just like to find somebody with star dev to make the fourth or fifth corner. Eric Brooks is out here, maybe a practice squad guy. I'll sign the best rookie. And we have a star dev option here in Nick Norwood. Now, 49 catching, extremely low. 54 zone coverage, extremely low, and can't tackle. But he has star dev. All right, we have a safety here, and Aaron Thomas from Kent State, star dev. We sign him. At this point, I'm far more interested in adding the undrafted players through the trades, and I really like Matthew Pearman. For a 64 overall center, this awareness and pass protection, that's pretty good. And, of course, this is where the cap space problem comes into play. So when CPU teams have negative cap space, they simply cannot trade anybody or any picks unless it satisfies their cap. I have to solve their problem to get Matthew Pearman. So I have to, in a lot of cases, wait to see who ends up on a practice squad or wait for them to fix their cap space and make the trade later because they have to go into the season with cap space. So it's just kind of the timing that is thrown off here, but we'll have to come back to Houston. Superstar safety Riley Byrd. Yeah, I'd like a chance to start developing a 21-year-old superstar DB. Of course, their cap space is a problem. We'll have to wait. Oh yeah, remember the Browns have won 2 Super Bowls in this series? Well, they signed their franchise quarterback to a big deal. 8 seasons, $682 million with a $484 million signing bonus and cap hits that reach and exceed $100 million. At 99.8 this season, he accounts for 29.4% of the Cleveland Browns salary cap. I'd like to get linebacker Brandon Poole from the New Orleans Saints, a run-first linebacker who may develop a little bit more 3-down ability. But I'll have to wait to add all these players because of salary cap reasons. We've seen Elijah Dunn want to become the starter in recent years, and now he is. This season, stepping into the office is Tyquan Weber, who wants Elijah Dunn's spot. Can we chill on the running back depth chart carousel for 1 year? Hey, you were in his shoes not that long ago. I think we should all be excited for the Eddie Devlin era. We have a high-ceiling quarterback who has shown he can simulate well. If we can get off to a strong start, which we've only done once in this series, oddly enough in Season 1, how was that the case? Max Wilbon's best September was the first season when everything was at its beginning and the team was going to be bad. But I believe we started that season 3-3 and we won our very first ever game. I have high expectations this year for Eddie Devlin and getting this team on track. We have 2 superstar quarterbacks now on the roster. Carson Brake, the strong arm rookie, is a higher overall and 3 years younger. So we're going to let him have a chance to do this drill. How about the build here of Carson Brake? Strong arm quarterback. He is a big boy. I know on that list it said he was 200 and close to 300 pounds. I didn't believe it. Is he actually? He's cooking right now with time to spare. Yeah, it said Damian Lovelock is 255 pounds. And I'm like, is he really? 255 is big. I think Cam Newton was close to 250 when he played. Carson Brake, 6'3", 299. Holy smokes. 300-pound quarterback. Both Elijah Dunn and Taekwon Weber are 25 years old. And Weber has star dev, so he could get more out of this drill. But I think the slim chance that Dunn could get the development boost is worth having him run this instead. And at the running back position, I think every overall point matters when you talk about being able to simulate well and getting good results. Who gets the best results? It's the highest rated running backs. It doesn't have anything to do with, having the perfect fit. It's all about the overall there. And just getting even one more point for Dunn should make him, a certain percentage better. And if he gets the star dev, then he raises his ceiling. Dunn did have our first ever 1,000-yard rushing season, and the goal is to absolutely do that again this season. I'd like to have him at star dev by the time this video is over. It doesn't happen here in practice. Denario Barnes is our superstar in the passing game, who also plays some running back and special teams. Last year was disappointing, but he still reached 1,000 yards receiving. This year, I'd like to get the carries up again and have him get some rushing touchdowns. He didn't have a single one a year ago. And I'm hoping that we can also end up seeing him have more than just like 1,000 yards receiving. I want the type of year where he gets there without question easily. This drill is actually a little bit tough against the Zaire Thomas, which is a good sign for our defense. And if he can keep up with Barnes with his athleticism, maybe we can end up moving Emmett Barnes to cornerback and get away with it. Like, look at that jam. Still going to win the route, though. To get our defense back on track this season, we really need Miguel Ortiz to take that next step. Matias Medrano's gotten older. Joel Newton's gotten older. We have a chance now to develop two dominant interior guys while we have two great corners, two great linebackers. And that should lead to a championship caliber defense. At linebacker, we're going to give a boost to Earl Summers. And he is an X factor that hasn't gotten much of a chance to play because our two starting linebackers are excellent. They're not coming off the field for a player almost 30 points under where they are. But we'll give him a chance to develop now in practice and see if he can become a third guy for us, at least carve out some kind of a role. Linebacker's a tricky one to just force guys in because sometimes your run defense takes a huge hit, and it's one of our strongest overall position groups. Defensive back Hugh Jackson is getting the chance to do the DB drill this season. He had 3 interceptions a year ago. He has normal dev and is 25 years old. So he's going to have to really put together a nice season for this to be a role that stays his for long. But we don't have another high dev option at safety. Emmett Barnes had started there for a long time, but I thought it was time to make a change as Barnes doesn't really have a standout skill. For Jackson, a few more interceptions would go a long way. And so would a dev trait upgrade. Let's see if we can get one here. No hands there, but gold medal for Hugh Jackson. And that's going to lead to a good boost, but no dev trait. Oddly enough, it's his cover skills that need the most work despite his ability to pick off some passes last season. Hybrid will give us a chance to upgrade both man and zone, so he's now a 79, and that's a pretty healthy boost, giving him 79 zone coverage, 72 man. He is a plus run defender. Although his dev trait is X Factor, I don't see Earl Summers as actually having a high ceiling. He is not a high-level athlete. I'd say now he's below average. He has 80 speed, and I just don't think that's going to be anything special. But we need depth, and I think he has the potential to be that third or fourth linebacker that we need. Miguel Ortiz is my breakout candidate this year on defense. We're going to have a chance now to give him another ability, as 80 is a milestone there. We're going all into pass rusher to hopefully get him more productive than he was during last season. So he'll become an 83 overall. Good overall to take a leap at, I think, this season. 90 power move, 83 block shed. I'd say it's his time. Here's center Mitchell Bergstrom. Wasn't sure if he'd actually have the chance to take over this role, but last season gave him a bunch of extra playing time. There are also some milestones that boost the offensive linemen. And last year, I think it was either the team passing yards or rushing yards that got him a couple extra upgrades. And that's really the difference, I think. He's now a top 32 center, so he's ready to start. And he's going to start for us. I felt fine running the football when he was in the game at center. That was one thing keeping Quintana in that role. I knew on 3rd and 1 I could run behind him and trust him. Elijah Dunn is raising the ceiling now at the running back position. We go with both into elusive back. He's now a true 86 overall. Denario Barnes is dynamic as a receiver could really be. But we can make the route running a little stronger. Let's go playmaker. That just seems to work on a lot of stuff. And we just got, I think, his overall up 2 with short route running, deep route running, trucking. I mean, it's just the best bang for your buck archetype. And now we see what Eddie Devlin's second season can become. 4 more upgrades. I'd like to give him a couple strong arm boosts. His deep accuracy could get better, and if we can get throw power. It's not the most important skill, but he does have below average arm strength. It doesn't get better through those upgrades. It remains an 86. That's okay. He's pretty much, good at every other area. We're going to upgrade improviser once again. And go into the season with a 79 overall starting quarterback. But okay, Carson Brake is here to develop into our new backup quarterback. We have a lot of skill points to get started. He has a strong arm. He's hard to bring down. Let's go strong arm. Why not? Carson Brake, one of the most interesting players the Snowhawks have ever picked up. I want to do a few of these and see if I can get an idea of how common it is to get the throw power boost. Because I feel like now we've done 6 total upgrades in this archetype and haven't gotten a single one. We'll have to get him strong in some other areas too. Improviser, I don't know if that's his archetype. He has 62 speed. Throw on the run, I'm sure that'll be a great skill for him to improve. Throw deep, throw on the run. Everything points to throwing the ball downfield, which is not our team's strength. But he is now a 67 overall strong arm passer at 299 pounds. Montreal has a 1-2 preseason, and Eddie Devlin throws 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Max Wilbon took the QB2 reps. Not very efficient, but protected the football. Taekwon Weber had a really good preseason. He'll definitely be wanting the starting role after outplaying Elijah Dunn. Happy to have both on the team, and I think that we see less Quentin Whiteside this year. He's kind of the veteran, best pass-catching running back on the team, but clearly his role is diminishing by the game, essentially. Cole Bradford, awesome preseason for him. Always a star in the preseason, it seems. And defensively, Jonathan McDonald had a lot of tackles. Chad Jennings, 2.5 sacks. We picked off 2 passes. Let's go, Tyrell Matthews. Get ready for a bounce-back season. Here are the top practice squad eligible players on the free agent market. Not a ton of opportunities when the top guy is an 84 speed receiver. That is the slowest receiver likely in the game. Well, we're probably going to bring in the top cornerback from a practice squad. That is Sean Roach out of Notre Dame. I'm not sure I have to move him at Barnes' listed position, but I think I will be trying him at cornerback this season. We're going to place Damian Lovelock on the practice squad again and actually release Markel Pearson. So Carson Brake can be our 3rd quarterback. I'd be more worried about someone taking him off the practice squad. So Wilbon is the QB2. We're releasing Clyde Lafferty. J.J. Parrish, we're experimenting with him as a hybrid player. I might let him develop on the practice squad for a year, and they'll get more development on the practice squad than our roster. The reason is that it seems that practice squad players are always given like the full reps in practice or like the full padded practices. So they're actually like really tired out. They have low stamina when you add them to the active roster because of that. So it can be good for extra development, which we will give him. We'll release Keenan Drummond. Final cut will be Joe Swinton. Actually, not the toughest time to get our cuts in this season. Oh, so these teams are just going to live over the cap? That doesn't seem very fair. All the teams I wanted to trade with are still over the cap. Something else I'm going to do here is fill up our practice squad with the best players out there. I didn't sign one of the better running backs last year because I just assumed that after a week he'd get signed. I don't think he ended up getting signed. So we're going to get B.J. Hyde, an 80 overall running back on there. And I also wanted to get one of the better edge rushers on the practice squad, Jermaine Richards. Oh, I see. If I want to play Barnes at all at cornerback, the awareness drop is actually significant. So I just need to move him if that's what I choose to chase this year. He is a 77 overall corner, so let's just see if he can get it done. And the plan is to try him out in the slot role. He is going to play. Calvin Burnett is a player we'll see more of this season. He's going to be the number 2 tight end. He is the best blocking tight end now on the roster, but has a good balanced skill set. At wide receiver, Isaiah York is a player we could end up seeing more of as that number 4 guy. Whether it's injury or a spread formation, he should see some looks. But here in Season 8, this is your Montreal Snowhawks roster. Not much changes off of last year. The biggest is Eddie Devlin now being the starting quarterback, which he was for most of a year ago. No changes to the starting lineup on offense, while the defense will see that change with Emmett Barnes. I'm still looking for another edge rusher. I only have 4 on the team right now. I'd like at least 1 more. We'll make a move at some point. And because he's the higher overall player, Nick Matias will now be the Mike linebacker. Jordan Rivera is going to play Will. So they're kind of trading spots in the base defense. And let's make sure Tyrell Matthews is the 2. Azareye'h Thomas is our number 1 corner. And let's see if this season can be a little different. And the journey begins at the Buffalo Bills. Eddie Devlin makes his first Week 1 start. And we look to set the tone for a new season where we try to make it back to the playoffs. We'll send out our defense. Josh Sanchez will get us underway. Welcome everybody to Year 8 with the Montreal Snowhawks franchise. Buffalo will start at their own 25. And the quarterback is Kyrie Thurmond. No Josh Allen. We're deep enough into the franchise where a lot has changed, and many quarterbacks are not in places you'd expect. Thurmond, what a throw on the move. That was nice. It is a 23-yard catch. That's Sean McVay. Why would the Rams fire him? Here is Thurmond over the middle, finding his receiver. I thought that was going to be overthrown and potentially picked off. He is a superstar quarterback. Thurmond hits, throws it away. Off the fake, Thurmond deflected. Play is made by number 7, Artie Barlow. 10 yards to go. Thurmond needs the 12. And faces some pressure. They'll only get 7. But they'll leave the offense in the game. Aggressive 4th down to start the year. Kyrie Thurmond throws off the mark. Had him too. Montreal takes over. And now we see what the story is in Season 2 for our new starting quarterback. Excited to have a little bit of a refreshed playbook for this year. But we're going to start things with our 1,000-yard running back. It's Elijah Dunn for 8. Devlin gives straight ahead. This is Dunn. Makes a move on the safety. He's got the first. Now we got them with the safety down in the box. Play action. And they'll get to Devlin. Good coverage. I am trying to set up some play action to see if we can hunt some big plays from time to time. Stepping up. Devlin completes it to Fulcher. 4 on the rush. This one's going deep, and he sails it out of reach for Denario Barnes. A third down sack for Darnell Stecker. Big play to keep the Bills out of scoring position. I'm very curious to see now how Devlin Sims, when he's the quarterback from the very beginning. It's hard to build that early season momentum, as we've learned in this series. 3rd and 10, we get 12. Devlin already with a few passes of 10+ on just this possession. 4th and 3, you could try a long field goal. We're going to go a little bit more aggressive than that. We're going for it and have Bradford, and he did not make the catch inbounds. That's all right. Miguel Ortiz gets the sack on 3rd down. Already at least a quarter of the way to what he had a year ago. Eventually, though, we give a short field to the Bills, so they'll probably have a chance to score on this possession. And they'll throw over the middle, beating Matthews. I call the coverage there that left most of the defense in zone, but just him in man, which should be his strength. And it's just been hard to get him playing at the level we need. But alignment means a lot, especially when he's that far outside and the receivers breaking in. Can't really fault him there. That's my fault not getting him set up the proper way. That's a fake. They toss it out. It is a first down. No, he lost the progress. Almost offsides there. It is a sweep, and we swarm the ball carrier. Even if they get the touchdown here, this is a competitive showing from our defense in the first half. 3rd and goal. Thurman steps up, and he does find his receiver. The Bills score first. But now we put Barnes in the backfield. Something I kind of got away from a year ago. We're going to pitch it to him. Gets a block on the edge from Parham. There he goes. They will not catch Denario Barnes. His first rushing touchdown since his rookie season. It doesn't have to be complex. Buffalo rallies for a good touchdown before we go into halftime, so it's still 14-7. But here we come again to start the 3rd quarter. Barnes is in the backfield. They seem prepared. We pitch it out again, and Parham didn't know where to go, really. Everybody in tight on 2nd down. And the pass goes to Barnes. How do you catch the ball and truck a player at the same time? Oh, come on. 3rd and inches. Just left the linebacker by himself there. We're going. Back to pass. Bradford on the reception. That's a play fake. Down goes quarterback Eddie Devlin. Weber is in the game. We go 3 receivers to the right. 3rd down and 7. Down goes Eddie Devlin. Oh, man. I'm not even sure. What is the strategy to this? Because, like, you cannot do 2 meters at once. It is no good. And Buffalo's like the only place I've seen the kick meter do that. 2nd down and 9. Yeah, this new quarterback for them seems pretty good. That's a backwards pass. I was waiting for him to pull up to throw. 3rd and long for Buffalo. Thurman deep down the middle. Got his man. Why are they all picking on Tyrell Matthews? Not a ton of separation, but they've got a quarterback making some perfect throws. 3rd down again for Buffalo, needing 7. It's thrown low. Buffalo takes a 10-point lead. Big touchdown. Cole Bradford, 41 yards. We've got a game in the 4th. Huge. Darnell Stecker just got a sack. 3rd down and 14. We'll jump into this. Got Jordan Rivera in the zone, too. And we make a play. Pressure from Jennings. Thurman's flushed. And he will get what he can. But they will not go up 2 possessions. We're running to the outside. Thank you for the block. This is Weber out of bounds. Tyquan Weber getting the snaps at running back. Wow. Parham, you have to do better. If Dunn can't go right now, we're definitely going to get Barnes some chances too. And wow, that is a phenomenal play at the moment. You need it from a captain. 3rd and long. All right, we need to get some of it here. It's intercepted. Wow. Tried to fit it in there. Maybe threw it a little bit early. Gotta get the ball back. Stecker's there. He brought some friends. It is a sack. Our 4th of the game. Kyrie Thurman, better protection. Short throw, caught. It's go time. We have to score a touchdown in the final 2 minutes. This punt will pin Barnes back around the 10. Man, couldn't cut through there cleanly. We'll get across the 20, but have a long way to travel. And we're going to start rolling right. Down there is Barnes, and he got him! A big one to the 27. I saw how that was unfolding, and I knew where we were going with that football. Huge play to Barnes, and now we have plenty of time to go the last 27. That's done in the game. Wide open space to the 10. We've got to slow it down now. With a minute to go, Dunn is taken down at the 2. We're running this all the way down to 17 seconds. Dunn gets in with 14 to play. Touchdown, Snowhawks. The big play to Barnes sets us up for a pretty easy touchdown. Oh, now they're going, oh, I have to kick. Oh, no. Am I better off going for 2? It is a shorter kick. So I feel like it's a little bit more makeable than some of the longer ones where this is doing this. I'm going to trust our offense. I've never done this before. Instead of kicking an extra point, I'm choosing to go for 2 to break a tie. And here we go. Oh, he dropped it. Kelvin Burnett, you can't be serious. So they're going to be able to throw a Hail Mary, potentially avoiding overtime. Here it goes. Deep down the field and incomplete. Overtime it is in week 1. Tails doesn't fail us, and we will receive. So we're going to set the tone here in overtime. Leaving our offense out. Barnes in the game at running back. And now this is going to be a screen. They got him. Dunn. Nowhere to go on 2nd down. Really need to give us some protection on this play. third down. Pass. Batted away from Blaylock. Buffalo ball. A field goal would win them the game. We have been really good against the run. I've also been pretty happy with our pass rush. They're going to bring a receiver around in motion. Dump it. Oh, another missed tackle. Make it 2. Trying to stuff a 3rd and 1. It is a run inside, and they'll barely get it. Nice play. Yeah, I think I have that one in my CFB 26 playbook. I do. That exact play. They're in field goal range. It's going to take something big down here. And we almost got the sack. Good catch. 3rd down. Pass caught. I don't know why this team is just unstoppable. All right, we're 0-1. It looks like there's still a good quarterback to deal with in Buffalo, even with Josh Allen gone. Thurman played a flawless game in a lot of ways. And Devin Barclay ruined a couple drives. Nice upgrade here for Mitchell Bergstrom. +2 awareness on your center's always good. All right, we're used to losing our first game. Spent a lot of time on that game for it to result in a deflating loss on the Jacksonville. Interception, Nick Matias. That is the end of the first half. It results in a 3-0 score. So our defense struggled at stretches, but there have been some good signs. The efficiency numbers on Devlin weren't bad in week 1 either, so hopefully we can build upon it. But for now, we're going backwards. Loss of 5. 2nd down, and Devlin dishes incomplete. It always takes this offense a bit to really get going. Nowhere to go. 58-yard field goal blocked. And we are still pitching a shutout. But neither team can move the ball. Dalton just ended this drive too. Jaguars spreading the defense. It's 3rd and 10. In field goal range. They go over the middle, and that is good coverage from Artie Barlow. Nice job. Dunn on the carry. There's a +8. I think what I'm seeing in this series is that even when you add, like, we have a superstar tight end, we have a receiver, we have a quarterback, we have a lot. We're going to throw now. Devlin's going to heave it downfield. Barnes. Wow, that's over his head. I think the offensive line is kind of holding us back, especially in pass protection. But even with the boosts, like, our overalls there are pretty good. Dunn, I think he got it. Like, a better offensive line would do wonders for our consistency. I think in this type of series, it's hard to be predictable because of the state of the offensive line and how hard it is to get higher dev players. Let's get Blaylock going. Been a quiet start. But at the same time, we've had the number 2 passing offense before. We can get on a roll. But it usually takes some wins that build morale on top of coach boosts. And by the end of the year, if that happens, then we're a dangerous team. But every year, you have to restart that process of rolling the ball downhill. This is going to be Barnes now underneath, going for 9. 55 yards passing. What is happening? This is Denario Barnes at running back. They're doing a pretty good job of getting players to him really quickly. He's getting it back-to-back carries, and they just stuffed him again. Same look. And Barnes gets it again. Oh, he fumbled the ball. 3 straight plays. They stuffed Denario Barnes. Third down for Jacksonville. They are trying to get 4, and it's Brian Thomas who's got it. Baptiste floats to his tight end. Man, Rivera getting beat that badly is tough for us to overcome. We need our great players to make those great plays. And I guess, we've only allowed 3 points. Play action. Baptiste takes off, but slides at the 3. Jacksonville, 3rd and goal. Baptiste sets up the screen. He's got a running back with blockers. Touchdown, Jaguars. That's the last thing I think that's coming at the 3-yard line. Back to pass, and this is Devlin to the outside. We just get Barnes some space. Tough start to the year, but now Blaylock is open for us. And we'll pick up a first. 5.5 minutes on the clock. Barnes coming across the middle, first down. Bradford is the motion man this time. He's out in space now. He can make a play. That's a 1st and 10. Throwing, Blaylock, what a catch! Touchdown! The combination touchdown catch, stiff arm from Jeremy Blaylock. And that should tie things. Can our defense get us the ball now so we can try and win this game? Nice tackle by Artie Barlow. You're on 2nd and 9. We're coming after him now. Got it to Travis Hunter. Emmett Barnes is beat. Yeah, that's the risk with us playing any man coverage when you've got him and Thomas on the field. Touchdown, Jacksonville. They score quick. We're going to give Devlin a spread field this time, and the drive opens. He gets it away for Barnes. What a catch. This is going to be a screen, and we get Dunn out on the edge. 9 yards. That's Barnes, and we go to the 2-minute warning. Throwing over the middle. Wow, Barnes! Safety got there. He just emerges with the ball. I don't know how he does it. Back to the air again. Now they bring down Devlin. That's at the 24. Oh, no. Oh, it's almost picked. We were getting Blaylock, but did not have the time. 3rd down and 16. Oh, my. More pressure. It is 4th and 28. What do you even do here? We need a miracle. Barnes is our best chance, and he can't come up with the ball. We have him one-on-one, open in the end zone. It hits him in the hands, but the defender knocks it out. And it's Montreal 0-2. Just not what we want here in September, ever. Devlin, 180 yards, a lot of those coming late. At least didn't turn the ball over today. I can't believe that stretch, though, where I handed it off to Denario Barnes 3 times, and they somehow held him no yards and a fumble. Matias got an interception today, but our offense isn't getting it done. Okay, if I run the trade finder here on Matthew Pearman, I can actually add him now. So we're going to add that backup center that I wanted to get earlier. You can't tell who all is an undrafted rookie here, but you can see all the developments from this menu really quickly on players. So if you're trying something similar to this series, definitely use this trade menu to speed things along. While I can't just like offer them a pick here and make the trade, if I hit get offers, suddenly we can make a deal. And a 6th rounder, I'll take that. I think we're going to release Philip Truman. We need to open up a roster spot. And we have a star dev 22-year-old guard on the roster, so there is still some depth there. There is some urgency now to get that first victory. We're finally at home this season. It's a downpour. Someone's got to get their first win here. And this has been our strongest start to a game so far. We've put together a couple scoring drives, a couple touchdowns. Darnell Stecker gets a sack in the 4th quarter. Let's jump into this game now. It's 21-14. Really want to get this season on the right track. Bo Nix, who has ended our season before, is going deep. He's testing Matthews, and it's caught at the 6. I thought this would be over. Why is it like this? They run it. Coleman scores a touchdown, and this game is going to be tied. On the carry, Dunn to the edge. We'll pick up 8, and he is close to a 100-yard day, but wear and tear might require him to exit. And it's put Quentin Whiteside into the game. Our first Quentin Whiteside sighting of the day. It's a first down. Play action. And Devlin incomplete. Have we just faced the 3 best defenses? From the 36, it's out. Bradford got it. Weaving through. That was close, but we got the first down. It's going to be Whiteside. Broke a tackle. He's still got some juice, I promise. And now Barnes to the outside. Blaylock is our motion man. And the receiver making the catch. Gain of 8. Denario Barnes in the backfield. We want it this time, and he gets us the first down run. Toss right. He's got some speed, and Barnes is run down. 3rd down and 12 as we attempt to break the tie. That was thrown to Barnes, but it ends up with Fulcher. And we're just going to have to settle now for a field goal. Easier to kick here than in Buffalo with that goofy kick meter. Can the defense clutch up for us now? 5.5 minutes left in the game. And good coverage from Matias. I usually like the way our defense looks in the rain because it slows down the offense. On 3rd and 9, Nix protected. It's tipped, though, and he had an open man. Huge break. Trying to protect our lead is Quentin Whiteside, and the veterans got the first. We fake it to the fullback, and that leaves Blaylock by himself. First down, Montreal. But this time we actually give it to him. You never know what we're going to do. This is a good time to give Barnes some more carries. He's trying to get to the edge. Man, he's just got all those extra skills. He can get you some yards after contact, make the tough catch in traffic. Trying to run some clock, but also hoping we can get a 2-possession lead. Here we go, back to pass. Blaylock, what a grab. They're blitzing. Blaylock is open. That is 1st and goal at the 1. Oh, wow. We've got Devlin in the zone, actually. Whiteside, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Montreal. And it's a 2-possession lead. And that's going to seal it for Montreal. Our first win of the year comes in week 3. I think that's pretty impressive. Tennessee's been a good team in this series, and it was our best offensive showing of the year. Devlin, 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix didn't have a huge day this time. Elijah Dunn goes for 95, 8 carries for Whiteside, 3 for Barnes. That's a lot of designed runs for us. Weber got hurt, and that put Whiteside back into the starting spot, essentially. Blaylock had some big catches for us. Fulcher scores 2 touchdowns. Quiet day receiving for Denario Barnes. The defense gets 1 sack, 1 interception for Javier Villa. Eddie Devlin has now made it to the 80 overall club. And I need to make sure I got all our abilities set up here. So I've only gotten him into the zone, I think, once. And then ran the ball. So I don't think I've gotten to make use of Omaha yet. I feel like this quick draw ability for faster animations when under pressure could come in very useful in this series. We do end up suffering an injury this week. And it is Tyquan Weber, a fractured foot. So Quentin Whiteside will have more of a role, it seems, for about a month. But I don't think I ever set up Jeremy Blaylock's X Factor. So by default, it is Vanguard. That sounds like the worst option of all of them. It's like a run blocking ability. I think Max Security makes the most sense. That's going to give him an increased success rate on possession catches. We're going to give Unstoppable Force to Chad Jennings. We actually can't give any abilities yet to Bergstrom at center because he's not truly a 75 overall. Maybe we just switch things up for Tyrell Matthews simply because he hasn't looked like the elite player the last couple years. I'm trying to have his abilities make him even stronger in man coverage, and it's not working. So we're going to go flat zone KO. That's a good, like, cover 2 corner ability. And I think this deep out zone knockout will be nice because it forces more knockouts and faster reactions, 20 plus yards from the line of scrimmage and outside the hashes. That's where he's given up the huge plays. So 3 games in, here are Devlin's numbers. He is protecting the football. He's giving us a good completion percentage, solid yards per attempt. Considering it's a 1-2 start, that's not that bad. The run game is running with a pretty good average right now. Elijah Dunn, 228 yards. We have to get more productive, though. We have to just get some more scoring drives. And I don't think we're going to have a ton of games like we did the first couple where we're struggling to score. I think if we can get this defense to just score like 24 a game, or just 24 consistently, we're going to be just fine. On paper, the Texans are a significantly lower rated team than us. 80 overall with a 79 defense at this stage is pretty eye-popping. They have good edge rushers, though. But man, this secondary's got to be in bad shape. We got to win this game. Can the Snowhawks get hot and put together an early season win streak as opposed to needing one when the season's already gone off the rails? All right, not what I had in mind. It's 24-0 right now. Houston's had some short fields. I know Devlin has at least 1 turnover. We broke up the shutout in the final minutes, but there was never a reason to jump in. 31-7. This was a chance to show this season was, in fine shape. This ain't good. CJ Stroud, 4 touchdowns, while Devlin has one of his worst games. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Dunn goes for 47 yards. Fulcher goes for over 100. Huge day for him. That kind of comes out of nowhere. And I don't want to talk about the defense after this performance. New injury. Mitchell Bergstrom. So now we're down RB2 and our starting center. Man, this Saints team has a 91 overall defense. I got a bad feeling about this season. So now I'm thinking, okay, what is the plan here? 2-4, 3 straight years. It could happen again. Is this a season where we just have to go into development mode and get through the year and try to make the most of it? Because after that last loss, if we go down again in our 1-4, hard to talk myself into the idea that we're going back to the postseason. 3rd down and 4. Pressure. We got him. The ball is out. I don't know how they got it. Great start defense. Throwing over the middle, and we've got Cole Bradford on a gain of 15. This is 3rd and 7. We might have him here. Looking for Barnes on the deep ball. Touchdown. Next time, you might want to have some safety help. Great way to start this game for Montreal, but can they maintain that momentum? The Saints drive down for a touchdown. That's a big play there we just hit. Down inside the 10. 4th and goal, touchdown, Elijah Dunn. Man, we were driving again, and Devlin threw a red zone pick. But we're right back in the red zone again late first half. And this time we kick a field goal. Hard to get an idea of if this team is good or not. We just recovered from like a 2nd and 20 sequence. We're going to jump back into the game here. It's a 10-point matchup. Still probably a bit of a work in progress with Bergstrom at center. Not sure if he's as good at Quintana at everything yet. But now he's so close, you might as well just, with that superstar dev, let him get there. That's the tough thing in this series is it's hard to be competitive if your best players aren't out there. Because we're not as talented as a lot of others. We don't have the trench players. And so you have to balance like trying to win, but also you really can't ever be done getting better in this series. And if you have a way of getting better, you kind of have to take it. It's just hard to continue, okay, we're going to give these guys snaps and they'll be better eventually, but not right now. Because you want that payoff, especially when you've already had a couple playoff seasons. But we sneak for the 1st down. We're going to get Whiteside off tackle. Here's a throw from Devlin. Barnes on the post. To the edge. Whiteside can still get there. Touchdown. Montreal up 3 possessions. And now up 2. Saints ball in the 4th. Trying to mount a comeback. This could be a season-fixing victory if we finish. To the outside. That's incomplete. Nice job, Thomas. That's his first pass broken up this year. Took a little while. Not getting close to the quarterback. Wow, bad pass. Montreal then forces a turnover on downs with around 4 minutes left. Denario Barnes scores, and that should cap this off. Huge statement. If this was how we played against the Texans and how we played against the Texans happened here, I don't know. Maybe it's better that we played better against the team on paper that was good, but I guess they're 1-4 now. And at the very least, we get to 2-3, and the door's open to a 3-3 start. Devlin has a 300-yard game with 2 touchdowns, and we did not run the ball that well, so he had to kind of carry things. And Denario Barnes went for 163, 2 touchdowns. Miguel Ortiz with 3 sacks. Devin Schultz had 2, 1 for Sheffield, plus another shared. One of our best pass rush games in a long time. Maybe that's Miguel Ortiz coming out party. And right on time, he gets an upgrade and we'll get another one shortly. That's probably a result of the 5 sack. Yep, milestone. That's 4.7K. This season, the Patriots are out in front at 4-2. We currently sit in last place. Buffalo and Miami are 3-3. And here's our first meeting against the New England Patriots. I feel like we don't usually look that good against them. Jumping into our game against Montreal. It's the first quarter. Let's see if we can get out to an early lead. Our pass offense is one of the worst performing so far. And I think a lot of this year is still going to be just trying to get the development we can out of Eddie Devlin. Because he still comes in one of the lowest rated starters. He has upside, but that doesn't help him today. Didn't help him against the Texans. So by the end of the year, I'm hoping he's in a spot to where we're confident when Season 9 were to get underway. We fake it, toss it, this is done. We need 3,500 yards this year, and I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm more worried that he could just stay healthy enough to get there versus the pass game being good enough to reach 3,500. This is not Season 1, where it came down to the last quarter of the last game. Devlin on the stretch. Weber, healthy again. Gains 3. I've been keeping us a lot more under center in this episode. I have the variety I need to do that. And now 2nd down and 7 to the end zone. Up for it. Touchdown. Anybody but Blaylock, and we're not throwing that. I trust the superstar X Factor. I really think by the end of the year, we're going to see that this defense has come a long way. The big thing for me is we're getting a lot of sacks that throw possessions off. That hurts. You cannot have an interception on the first play of a possession. But the defense plays damage control. Patriots only get 3 out of it. So they did score a touchdown earlier. I don't know what happened on the PAT, but it's now 15-7. We're going to throw this one by your star corner and number 30 there and get the first down to Barnes. Barnes closing in on 400 yards receiving. Yeah, ideally he wouldn't be a fringe 1,000-yard guy. I want to see like 1,300. I think my big question now in this series is what does this all look like when Eddie Devlin actually hits his ceiling? With superstar X-Factor development, there's not much that can keep him from reaching it. The overall is going to climb. So how would this team perform if they had a 90 overall quarterback? Would we finally have the stability that we've craved? I think that's what's missing. Bradford on the reception now. Let's go. Barnes on the screen. Hits the Jets. Gain of 9. Nice block. Here is Dunn through the middle and down inside the 1. With the way players develop in this game, actually one of the most valuable things you can do with a quarterback is get him a rushing touchdown. Devlin was not able to do it there. Back up a foot or two, and Parham doesn't get in. 3rd down and goal. Back to Devlin. Touchdown, Montreal. And here is the 2-point try. Man, that wasn't good. We fail, so now we got to get the ball. Drake May and the Patriots up 2. Airmailed, pretty good coverage. They want a screen. And we're all over it. It's 3rd down and 9. We bring 4. Drake May flushed. Down he goes. Stecker gets the credit. But 3 players there made the play for the Snowhawks. Single high from New England as we start this possession. We're going deep. Barnes the target. Defended well. From time to time, you got to take some chances downfield his way. This is going to be done. Great catch. 4th and 1. Elijah Dunn in the game. We're going to run it to the right, and Elijah Dunn gets it, running past the Patriots to the 40. They drop out. Dunn. He's gotten better as a pass catcher. And this is 3rd and 5. Barnes is the motion man. And the pass is caught by Bradford. Again, it's 4th down. I don't know why sometimes they play over the center and sometimes they don't. Like, I think defensive alignment is one of the biggest issues with the gameplay. Because I think, like, most of the nickel formations play way too wide. And some things just don't make any sense with how they're set up. Oh, they're blitzing. Barnes, nope. Man, that was a terrible pass. This is done on 3rd and 3. Getting us a gain of 9. A 100-yard game. Back to pass. And now they get to Devlin. This one's going to be tougher to fix. What do we got here? 3rd down, 24. Looking for Blaylock. If it were 21, we'd be fine. I at least want them to give me a look. I'm going to kick this time. Montreal takes the lead, but only by 1. All right, defense, 16-15. Kind of a weird score. Right in front of Stecker. Yeah, I don't like when they get us in our base defense as much because it always has someone dropping. I'm not really that happy to see in coverage. I could debate on us going to a 4-3 just because I think it's easier to play call from 4-3 than 3-4. 1st and 10, underneath, wide open. Loss of 1. Miguel Ortiz coming to play this season. 3rd down and 2. Drake May. Intercepted! What a pick by Barlow! Acrobatic interception, Montreal football. That's one of the coolest plays in a while. We've seen them try to hit these tight windows, and it work. But not this time. All right, we're starting this drive. Barnes in the backfield. He's in motion. And we got a chance here. Barnes has the 1st down. And they escort him out of bounds. He's been our Deebo Samuel in this Kyle Shanahan offense. If only we could block on plays where he's in the backfield. Here's some room up the middle. It's done. Patriots call a timeout. All right, they have 2 clock stoppages left. I think we abandon the run here. A 1st down is more important than getting the stoppages out in a 1-point game. And the throw is out. Perfect. It's Bradford. Go down. Now we go back to the run. They're out of timeouts. And this is going to be Elijah Dunn. A 1st down would end the game. Handoff, Denario Barnes, and that is your 1st down. We are not going 2-4 this season. Montreal will pull this game off and defeat the New England Patriots to improve to 3-3. One of the best starts to a season this series has ever seen. Good win. That interception from Barlow could be a season changer. That was an amazing pick. 16-15. That feels like it could be a scoregami. Unfortunately not. It's happened 15 times before. Not a huge day for the offense. Just making the plays in the end, running the football well. And I think a lot of credit goes to our defense. They got the turnover. They got some sacks throughout the game. I think anytime we're getting, 4 sacks and a turnover, you should feel pretty good. We'll get Miguel Ortiz to 85, and that's going to open up an additional ability slot. We're going to use the under pressure ability so he can apply pressure at a greater distance from the quarterback. A new injury. We have had to battle through some of these already, and Tyrell Matthews. That is really testing the limits when we lose a top defensive back. So we're without him and Mitchell Bergstrom. We're 3-3. And through 6 games, here is where Eddie Devlin is at. And if we take his yards per game and apply that to a 17-game season, he's on pace for 3,813. So he could end up achieving it in the final game of the year or close at this pace. At 62% completion percentage and 6.8 yards per attempt, it feels like a little bit of a fall from last season. It's a little bit closer to what Wilbon was having in better years. Dunn's at 4.7. That's great. Barnes, 68.7 yards per game. That over a 17-game season is 1,167. So I'd like that to, be 10% higher. I feel like I haven't really called Kevin Fulcher's name much. He's just out there running cardio when I'm in control of the offense. Still want to get him some opportunities. And then for the sacks, 7.5 from Miguel Ortiz, but just 2 from Chad Jennings. So it's kind of like the same result. It's just who's getting the production. I want to give Deontay Mallard the chance to start in Matthews' absence. We're going to keep Barnes in the same slot role, and we'll see if this ends up holding back the defense at all. This is another game that's getting away from us. There have been a couple turnovers from Devlin. Pittsburgh hit a big play touchdown in the first half. Looks like a turnover on downs. So this is another game we're not really going to spend time on. Unfortunately, being 3-3 feels good in this series because of what we usually do, but it's still not a great start. 3-4, even worse. A couple blowout losses, sandwiching 2 of our better wins. So Devlin, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We got to accept the growing pains this year with him. I mean, Max Wilbon had a couple seasons where we only won a handful of games. We were 3-14 in both seasons 1 and 2. And now you've got Devlin getting his chance to also develop. Skylar Roseman, 92 yards. Fulcher had 74, 87 for Elijah Dunn. 1 catch for Denario Barnes. I'd start, fixing this game with that mark. Another new injury. And this time we have lost Nick Matias, and you have 2 star defenders out. Not good for the 3-4 Montreal Snowhawks. Now in week 9, we hit the trade deadline. We're going to make a trade and bring in Brandon Poole, a linebacker at 70 overall. I wanted to add him earlier, and the Saints cap situation's finally good enough. We'll put rookie Kyle Webb on the practice squad. Poole is 4 overall higher, a dev trait higher, and younger. We'll go field general on him, 71 overall. Awareness, man coverage, zone coverage. Yeah, I think that there's an easy path to him becoming at least a 3rd linebacker. Eddie Devlin, now an 81 overall, only a couple behind Max Wilbon. The one rating that hasn't really improved, that I don't have much control over, is awareness. That's still at a 74, but he's now a top 32 quarterback. The Snowhawks are home, and at 3-4, look for a very important win while we wait for some of our defenders to get healthy. Giving up big plays here on the opening possession. It's going to lead to a field goal. Hoping for a better start offensively. Eddie Devlin has had some bad games, but isn't usually consistently bad. Oh no, what is that? 75-yard touchdown, Jamison Williams. We're going to jump in here in the second. Dunn, the running back, gets the carry, and here's a move on the safety. Flying upfield, barely decelerating on that move. Heading to the air. Fast route. Bradford, touchdown. He was flying. Well, we tried a 62-yard field goal that was not successful and then gave up a 28-yard score. All right, so let's see this defense now where you've got Emmett Hess joining Jordan Rivera. Down a top corner, down a top linebacker. Matt Rose, deep ball. Almost picked off by Thomas. 4 on the rush. They set up a screen. Oh, you had him, Hess. He got off the block. He just took on Quinn Miners, got off the block. Go make the tackle now. Big play. And he just falls over. Trouble. J-Mo breaks the tackle. Another one. What is he, like 34 in this series now? How is he doing this? 3rd down and 6. Overthrown. But unfortunately, there's just a lot of work to do. Down 14, but here we go. We're moving the ball. How about we jump in for a 3rd down and 6? They show blitz, don't bring it. Barnes coming across, and now he turns up. 36-yard receiving touchdown. 1 possession game. And perhaps here in the 4th quarter, our Snowhawks have a chance. We have a 7-point game with 3 minutes remaining. Back to pass. Fulcher. Wow, how'd he get his feet down? Oh, no, they're challenging that. Yeah, I didn't think he got his feet down. Here's a split backfield look with Weber in the game, and out goes Barnes in space. I think he juked too far. A shorter but faster juke would have been preferable. 3rd down and 7. Couldn't give Blaylock a chance. What's a higher chance of happening? Us getting a stop or converting 4th and 7? I honestly think that getting a stop is a little bit more likely. So we're going to kick it deep. 4 stoppages remaining. Can someone make a play? 2:08 to go. Matt Rose. Hands off. Good start for Denver. Rose play action over the top. Got him! What a ball. Going after Deontay Mallard. And they just threw it over our head. This is a ridiculous decision they're making here. You could kick a field goal and basically end the game. And they're lined up to go for it. That opens the door if we get the stop. Knocked away! A minute to go. It's still going to be extremely tough, but there is a chance. Got to get downfield. Devlin underneath. It's Bradford. A 10-yard pickup. Back to the air, and whoa! His face mask almost caught it. No! Devlin sails it over the head of Bradford, and we just basically have to heave one. 4th down and 10. Barnes, nice adjustment. He caught it. It's not over yet. 21 seconds remaining. Barnes. Out of room. He had the football. Okay, this is rough here. Everybody's rotating out. We have our backup receivers. A couple backup tight ends are in the game. We're going to have to just hit done here. Get a first. All right. Setting up Devlin. Throwing to the end zone. It is flagged down and nearly caught. Wow. Pass interference. Yep, I'm taking any break I can get. Wow.
Automatic first down.
Can we steal one? We're lined up inside at the 1-yard line. And Delonte Parham has the touchdown. Do we go for 2? I came out there with Barnes in the backfield because I wanted to toss it. Didn't love the look enough to stick with it. And I liked the dive over a sneak because I needed the full yard. We're lined up to go for 2. Devlin rolling. Blaylock got it! 2 seconds left, and Montreal may have stolen this game. Jeremy Blaylock at the stripe. And we just need to end the game. Power squib. What's that? I do want this to go to somebody else, ideally. Oh, it's a short kick. All right. Make the tackle. That's game. Denver just gave it to us. And it would have been disrespectful to not take it. 4-4. I don't care. We do not deserve that win. But neither did they. They basically channeled their inner Mario Cristobal there, not kneeling, to run the clock out in that game a couple years back. Well, we stared 3-5 in the face and did not blink. Eddie Devlin, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns. We pulled it off. It was Javier Villa who knocked away that pass on 4th down to give us the extra chance. 4-4, everybody. How's it feel? And that's going to lead us into a game against the Miami Dolphins. We now have the 22nd scoring offense, 23rd scoring defense. Tyrell Matthews probably misses one more game, and then he'll be back. But now the goal is to get above 500. Intercepted. Adrian Aguirre. What? Backup safety interception? See, it's always been a surprising series. I prefer the more pleasant surprises. Like a backup safety making a big play to start the game. Devlin, come on. All right, I'm kicking one from deep. Josh Sanchez. Let it fly. Right down the middle. I kind of want to play a little bit more defense. Been starting to find a little bit of comfort with it. It's Mike Robertson of the Miami Dolphins with a pass over the middle going for 9. Last year, we finally broke the streak. They beat us in the first meeting, and then we came back, did not let them sweep the season series. The other 6 seasons, the winner of the first game was also the winner of the second game. Achan on the carry. Good run. Play action. Robertson into the Bermuda Triangle. How did they do that? Achan sprinting through to the 13. Achan gets loose. It is a touchdown, Miami, as they grab the lead. Nice response being put together. Devlin off to a good start. Will score a touchdown. Elijah Dunn runs one in. Man, they hit some big plays with this defense. I think that's just the way it is when you take out 2 critical pieces of this team. We're not good enough to make up for that. This is a 3rd and 10. Wow, Blaylock just saved a pass that should have been picked. I didn't even see that guy. Screen. Fulcher. We'll get a couple. Let's burn a timeout. Stepping up. Down the middle. Blaylock! Incomplete. It's clear, though, those are the types of throws you have to just let him try from time to time. And we're going to step up, buy some time. Blaylock. I was trying to throw that one high. Probably screwed it up. But we'll send out Sanchez. And his kick is good from 53. Snowhawks ball in the second half, and they just scored from 20 yards out. That's Devlin to Barnes. Miami has an impressive passing game, though. They're down 5 in the 4th. And here is a tight end working to the right. They want Achane. Gotta get him quick. Running inside. Achane gets loose again. Jamison Williams and Devon Achane as fast as ever. As Robertson sneaks ahead. Inside. Achane out. But in for the touchdown. Miami has the lead. Critical play, though, as they try to make it a 3-point game. Achane's going out. It's on Robertson, the superstar quarterback, and he's pressured. Flushed. And doesn't get it! Return it! Sheffield, no! No! We could have pulled off the Eric Berry there. We were so close. Oh, man, I've only seen it happen one time. I'm sure it's happened in college. Absolutely lit up by Emmett Hess. But we couldn't get a good, clean recovery. His momentum carried him out of bounds. All right, if Sheffield stays in, though, who do we got here? Lineman. I don't think anybody's catching him if he just stays in bounds. I wouldn't even celebrate that. But, man, the play I'm referencing, Falcons, Chiefs, I believe it was. And the Falcons had just taken a lead. But then Matt Ryan threw a pick to Eric Berry, who returned it 2 points. And the Chiefs were back in front. And it's the only time in the NFL I know of where a team has taken the lead on a touchdown and then given it back on the try. We were inches away from one of the craziest plays of the series. We're angling out. Oh, where'd you come from? Back to pass. Bradford off the mark. No flags? Come on, ref. He was all over him. Josh Sanchez from deep. Drills it. Snowhawks ball, 3 minutes to go, and we are running the clock out suddenly. Wow, I do not want to give Robertson another chance. He can play. This is to move us to 5-4, guys. Elijah Dunn, straight ahead. Better wrap him up. Got Barnes in there. And it's not to toss it. We're just going to give him a chance to be Devon Achane for a moment. Weber's in. We'll go 3 ball carriers in 3 plays. Tyquan Weber first down. But never before has anyone done this. 4 running backs in 4 plays. Quentin Whiteside. Here we go. A first down. And that could do it in this one. Montreal resilient. Missing some players, but still getting picked up by the Stars remaining. And technically this is 5 ball carriers and 5 plays. After a 7-10 season last year, Montreal is off to a 5-4 start. There's still a lot of work to do, but it looks like at the very least we're going to be in the hunt for a long time this year. Maybe even have a chance to make that postseason return. We've done a lot better job in late game situations today, and that's what a lot of these seasons come down to. We're not winning anything easily. Devlin 196, 2 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns for MrHurriicane, 6 for 64 for Denario Barnes, and just 1 sack for Jennings, 1 pick for Adrian Aguirre. I don't even know what got him on the field. That is a mystery, because there were no injuries when I checked after our first offensive sequence. I suppose somebody could have gotten hurt and returned extremely quickly. Or there's a 3 safety package of some kind and it got him in. That's back-to-back wins. Tyrell Matthews is back. That's huge. Soon we should get Nick Matias back from injury. But I'd expect our defense to show a noticeable improvement now. I'm worried about this one, though. The Panthers score a lot of points, and they have a 99 overall running back. We saw his ratings last episode. I don't want any part of this team. Jackson Dart's the quarterback. Interesting. But Gabe Buckner might go for 200. Two teams at 5-4, trying to hit that 6-4 mark here in the 10th game. That'll get you into a good spot to make a run in the postseason. Yeah, let's play the first couple drives of this one as Carolina gets us underway. And it's Quentin Whiteside on the return. Whiteside on the run back. He's across the 45. Not a home run hitter. He got us a double instead. I don't like putting Barnes or like a number 1 or 2 receiver usually on kick returns, especially in this wear and tear environment. Just because I don't like usually the idea of a guy having one of those returns, taking a big hit, running, 20 to 40 yards, and then having to run, plays from 1st and 10. I find punt returns aren't as bad because usually they're a little bit shorter. I think it's easier to avoid, the contact. Maybe it doesn't matter. But that's just kind of how I've always thought of it. We want Barnes coming across. Oh, boy. That's a first. Devlin gives to Dunn. It's a nice carry. Fulcher on the move, has it, flies to the 10, 1st and goal. Bradford the target, wow. Short throw, Bradford. That is not a touchdown. They're overturning that immediately. But on 3rd and goal, that is just too easy. Could park your car there and celebrate your touchdown, Elijah Dunn. Do not let Buckner take this game over. Play action, Carolina. Jackson Dart with a dart. They run it with Buckner. Ortiz is there. It's a short gain. Dart on 3rd and 7. Over the middle. They got it. Fake to Buckner. Dart on target. There's T-Mac taken off. They're letting Jackson Dart run this drive. We send some pressure. That's T-Mac. Running with Buckner. Broke a tackle. Falls ahead inside the 5. Buckner. All right, a little too easy. And both teams march down the field to start the game. The Snowhawks then score again Devlin to Bradford. And then Carolina gets a 26-yard touchdown. So 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. Literally the best primetime game ever. The streak does end, but this points to potentially a very high-scoring game this week. We're going to go play action. Barnes, caught, get around him. And then I wanted the hurdle, but it never happened. Throwing, caught. Barnes left the end zone. And actually didn't get much forward progress there. Weber's in the game on 3rd and goal, and he's got the touchdown as we pull ahead. Moving ahead to the 4th, it's 23-21. Carolina just hit a field goal. This is going to be a screen. We got Dunn turning it upfield and getting the first down. Devlin for Bradford. I love throwing it to him. We're going to keep it in the air. And no! Thought we had him there. And then, man, 4-man rush just annihilated us on back-to-back plays. I simulated the punt, and it put them at the 1. So a long way to go. We could tie it here, but they got T-Mac for a few. Buckner up the middle, falling forward as he drives through Rivera. We've actually kept him from having a huge day. It's been Jackson Dart who has been unstoppable. Buckner has 51 yards rushing. And now they give it to Buckner, and it's always possible he could turn it up right now. First down. Buckner, no way, in the zone. He breaks the tackle. This is bad. Okay, he's tired. He's off the field. Can we possibly get them in a no-huddle situation? As Jackson Dart steps up and runs. One way or another, they're getting 15 on the ground. Buckner, rehydrated and re-enters. And he gets it. Up the middle. First down. They're just going to keep giving it to him. And if they score a touchdown here, they're going to make it a 2-possession game. Buckner stuffed as we crank up the aggressiveness. We need one more of those. Third down, the fullback gets it, and we got him. Not even close. But what's their call? Could be anything. In this case, it's a field goal. Carolina leads it 26-21. One thing I haven't done this year is utilize Devlin's mobility in a significant way. Bradford, that's a gain of 5. Third down and 3. Unbelievable stuff there. I think I'm going for it. They have the best running back in the league. And that's a little bit different when you're talking about a run-the-clock-out situation like this. Unbelievable miss there, Devlin. I can't believe you missed that pass. They run up the middle with Buckner. And a field goal would make this an 8-point game. Oh, what? Can someone just pick the quarterback? No. You had him. We're just making like every mistake possible right now. Buckner, stiff arm, drives to the 1. Here's third and goal, and we get there. We may have one chance to tie it. All right, we're going to need the touchdown, the 2, and then some. Let's get a chunk of the yards here with Fulcher. Whoa, that's a big run. Coming across. Fulcher. Good to see ya. 27 seconds and running. And this time it's going to be thrown to Blaylock. Get out of bounds. Here we go. Pass. Caught. Touchdown Blaylock. Can we hit the 2? Here we go, guys. Another big spot. Bradford is there. 2-point try is good, and we have tied the game with 9 left. Another game we are looking to steal. The Panthers will attempt to get a Hail Mary off. I'm going to be aggressive here. I'm sending 6. Dart going deep. Thrown a little early. Batted down. And we're going to go to OT again. So we get the ball first this time. I wanted defense first, but sometimes it's the way it goes. Devlin in the zone, and here we go. It's done. First down. To the outside, and they run down Elijah Dunn. Now we need 2 good plays to fix this. Check this out. With his X Factor, can get a look at what they're running. At least to some degree. Could not check it down. Dude, this pass rush is incredible. So here are the Panthers with the best running back in the league needing just a field goal. And he stiff arms Rivera, but only gets 1. 2nd and 9. He hits the throw over the middle. First down. Off the fake. Jackson Dart. Wow, how'd he do that? Dart from the 41. They're going to run to the edge. Come on, Hess. Buckner breaks the tackle. He is amazing. It's fun to see what the elite players can do sometimes. I wish it were not at our expense. Dart. High. Knocked away by Matthews. And here is our chance defensively. We rush 4. Dart short of the sticks, but then they get it. Come on, guys. 1 play for us. 4-man rush. Dart off his spot. No! What happened? Thomas playing over the top just gives him way too much space. Don't you dare win this with your fullback. 5-5. Man, I wish our defense was just better. Good game from Devlin. Better game from Dart. That one's tough. 5-5, though, with 7 games remaining. Riley Byrd gets an upgrade, and at some point this year, maybe we get him on the field, especially if the season isn't in good shape toward the end, but I don't think he'd be ready now. He's not a plus player in any area. Let's upgrade Kelvin Burnett. We're looking for catching. And get catching traffic kind of helps. So here at the 10-game mark, I like to evaluate where things are at, what we have to do now in this last stretch. And the defense has taken a step back even further from where things were a year ago. We have dealt with some injuries. It feels like our schedule is just relentless, but that's the way it is. Eddie Devlin has 2,306 yards. His current pace is a 3,900 yard season, so we're in a good spot. His completion percentage and yards per attempt are lower than his rookie campaign. Elijah Dunn, still a good average, 618 yards. Denario Barnes, 650. He's now on pace for 1,105 yards. Fulcher's had some good plays lately. A lot of good stuff from Blaylock when we need something in key moments. 9 sacks now for Miguel Ortiz, 6 for Darnell Stecker, 4.5 for Chad Jennings, and just 4 interceptions now. Not that many takeaways. I'm not sure this is the team we can get things on track against, with Atlanta being as good as they are. 7-3 versus our 5-5 Snowhawks. After going down early 14-0, I'm surprised that here in the fourth quarter it's now 14-10. So we'll jump into a close game in a very big spot. Our defense has kept us in it. Denario Barnes in the backfield, and the speedster, whoa, almost got loose. And we're going to throw over the middle. Nice grab made by Dunn. Devlin at 135 yards passing. Get it over his head. Blaylock lost the ball. Man, that would have been a sick catch. Now 3rd and 10. Blaylock. Nope. Trying to start stepping into these throws again. Sometimes I'm watching replays, though, and it's like, man, if I stepped up in the pocket, the quarterback would have been flattened. But there are other plays where if I step up, I can avoid a sack that I take. So it is Falcon ball. Drake London is tackled after Michael Penix Jr. throws it his way. Still got those two, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, like nothing's changed apparently in Atlanta. Matias Madrano's in the game now. No way. Bijan Robinson to the outside. Hess is there. Bijan straight ahead, and that is enough for the first. Penix off the fake, just off the mark. 3rd down Atlanta. Penix pressured, down he goes. Joel Newton, the veteran defensive tackle, gets in the backfield. Devlin hands. Here's a run for Weber. That gets 8. Weber, here's an open hole, and he sprints through. He's got the 50. Still on his feet. And Tyquan Weber will rip off the big 68-yard touchdown run. He's got some juice. I like our backfield a lot. What a time for that. So this is a 2-point try to go up a clean 7. Barnes makes the grab. It's 21-14. Falcons down 7. Penix, down he goes again. Dropped by Ventura. There's just so many players that have bad wear and tear at this stage. I put Ventura in late in that last drive. Just want to get fresh players in the game. Penix slings off the hands of his receiver. A lot of talent on the field now. Wow, Pitts and Bijan both blocking. That's how I prefer it. Ventura with some pressure. There's a lot of value to having fresh players in the game. Playing a lot out of the I formation this season. Pitch to the outside. Denario Barnes is wrapped up. That first toss going for a touchdown might have been the worst thing that could have happened to us. Because now how many times have I run it because that one was a score? 2nd down and 15. Manufacturing one for Bradford. And that creates this 3rd down and 8. Barnes, save it. No, it's picked. I knew that was a risky play, but I thought it was the safety that was going to have a chance to get it. So the Falcons take over. Still a 7-point game. Good field position, too. To the outside, Bijan slips a tackle and trucks his way to a first down. At this stage, I imagine the Falcons would go for it on a fourth down, depending on the distance. How about this one? Another sack for Newton, a 7-sack day. I don't think you go for it here. Some games the defense makes a lot of plays, others they can't do anything. But now we have a chance if we can close out the last 3 minutes. Straight ahead, nice block, Parham. Elijah Dunn has us a first down. Giving it to Barnes, and he's got the edge. This is dangerous now. I really should get him some more carries from like a different look. The I form has just kind of been the go-to, but maybe there's not a good enough reason for that to be. Let's go out of the shotgun. Yeah, they're playing the run here. 2 plays to get a first down, and we could win the game if we do it. We're throwing and getting Devlin on the roll. Oh, man. And it's incomplete. That's even worse. Waited too long to look for Blaylock. One more try. Barnes outside. Gets a block. First down. We're catching breaks. We're getting a little bit luckier this season late in games. And we're finding a way to take the close ones more often than not. And that's going to do it. Montreal will pull off the upset of the Atlanta Falcons. And we're now 6-5. Nice win. Pass rush came up huge. It's so much easier to have the pass rush win the game for us than our coverage. The quarterback play is just too good. And at 6-5, we have a legitimate chance now in the wild card hunt, I'd say. So a quieter day from Eddie Devlin. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick for Penix. Dunn goes for 73. Weber 120. 68-yard touchdown, of course, helps. And then we had Miguel Ortiz with 2 sacks. Ventura, Villa. A pick for Matthews. I really want to see one of those when we're in the game. It's been a minute. I got to think we're about to get Matias back, too. I think he's one of the most important players that doesn't play on the D-line, because he has the highest awareness of any starter on defense. He's the better coverage linebacker. And it's such a huge upgrade from Hess being out there instead. So here's the injury report. We're good. He's back. We're 6-5. And here's the picture right now. We are on the outside looking in. The 7 seed currently would be the Chiefs at 7-4. They're a game ahead of us. There's a lot of competition now for the wild card this year. Pittsburgh, us, Buffalo at 7-5. So I do think we're going to need probably 11 wins again to feel good. We haven't changed much with our offensive linemen lately, and they're not getting upgrades all that often anymore. Upgrades are few and far between, so here is an agile boost for Kyle McCann. Nice little run blocking upgrade. And we'll go agile for Connor Logan, the left guard. Our left side gets a little bit stronger. All right, at 6-5, we are firmly in the hunt, and this is one of the biggest games left on the schedule. It's the second meeting with the New England Patriots, who currently lead the division. We win this game, our chances at going to the postseason go up significantly. And this is actually a chance at a sweep. We beat the Patriots 16-15 already. So let's see if we can pull off one of our biggest division wins of the series. Ooh, interception, and they were inside the 10. Tyrell Matthews. I think he's got a couple now on the year. We'll end up getting a field goal out of that. 3-0 Snowhawks coming out on 1st and 10 here in the first quarter. A screen, and Barnes gets upfield as he gains 8 yards. 3rd down and 2. Buying some time. They covered this play pretty well, and down goes Devlin. Last game was low scoring. We'll see if this is all the same. Patriots at midfield in the second quarter. Still no score from them. Here's a throw to the outside and a fumble. Guys, pick it up. Now, I don't think this is going to stand, but let's run it back and see if there's a chance we have the ball at the 8-yard line. Nope, it is overturned. You know, Javier Villa seems to have made a lot of plays when he's dropping into coverage. He might not be too bad at that role. He comes off the field. We got Brandon Sheffield in his spot on 2nd and 8. Over the head of the receiver, May off the mark. Trying to stop New England on 3rd down. They need 8. May is able to dump it, but misses his receiver. That also was high. Nice drive here for Montreal, taking it into New England territory and looking to cap off this half. This is Tyquan Weber on the carry, cutting it out. He's to the 8. Weber's actually racked up quite a bit of production this year. He's closing in on 300 yards. It's not a ton, but we've usually not had our RB2 be all that productive in the franchise. 2nd and goal. Blaylock overthrown. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Pressure coming. Passes out. And out of bounds goes Kevin Fulcher. Man. Had a chance there on each play. We're only going to go up 6-0. Fumble recovered by Nick Matias. That is the first play of the second half. Now can we get that first touchdown? So much easier when we get the occasional turnover. It wasn't that long ago we were at like half a turnover force per game. We're going to head left. Weber to the 10. Whiteside is in. We go with 3 receivers on 3rd and 8. And man, they really double covered Whiteside on the angle route. Wasn't anticipating that. But the field goals are enough to give us a 2-score advantage. Penalty, sack. New England's just getting in their own way today. Snowhawks big touchdown. Let's go. We got the 2. 46 yards, Cole Bradford. 17-0. Drake May drifting and finding a receiver. He's at 62 passing yards. This is one of the best defensive performances that we've ever had. I know in year 7 we did have a shutout at one point. Drake May almost intercepted. Thomas bats it away. It's 3rd down and 3. There is an open man. I'm trying to put us in positions to take away some of the underneath throws. It's going to open up some intermediate and deep passes from time to time. It's just hard to go through these like 12-play drives where they just paper cut you the entire way down the field. And I want to, force them to hold on to the ball a little bit longer and lead to a style of play where I think we can get more turnovers. That's what we need. We're not always going to be able to out-talent teams. I think that's rarely going to be the case. Like, turnovers, I think, are a huge piece of the puzzle. Fumble! Can we get it? No! What a play by Drake May. Oh, got him in time, and all the way to the goal line. Patriots in the pistol. Still not getting in. 3rd and goal. Drake May back to pass. Oh, he threw it low. He has missed a lot of passes. 4th and goal. They're going for it. And Drake May, good coverage, and got his man. Finally, Patriots on the board. We just fumbled the ball on our next drive, so Patriots have it with 4:30 left to play. That's a screen being set up. No room, it's going to be 4th down. 4th and 4. Drake May, he throws it, I think short of the sticks. Snowhawks ball. Bouncing off and accelerating. This is Denario Barnes on a 14-yard run. Delonte Parham on the reception. That's a gain of 9. Barnes, he bounces off the safety and makes it to the 12. Field goal ends up good, 20-7. That is your final. The Snowhawks have swept New England, owned the tiebreaker, and will now have a chance to compete for the division crown. We've never won a division title in this series. Devlin managed the game well, good completion percentage. We capitalized on some mistakes. Elijah Dunn, with a busy workload today, ends up injured. He had 21 carries, and then he usually has a few passes caught. I guess not today. But we got the interception from Tyrell Matthews. We got 2 forced fumbles and 2 recoveries. When this team can get 3 turnovers, yeah, they're going to be tough to beat. Injuries have been a constant this year, and we just lost Elijah Dunn, I think, for the rest of the regular season. So Tyquan Weber will be stepping up, and the longtime veteran, we're glad he's still around. We've got Quentin Whiteside still. The third running back now is going to be Justice Pleasant. He has a nice skill set. He has a lot of crossover with like his speed and catching abilities, I think being identical to Elijah Dunn. If the team is run by me, they're going to have some running back depth. Don't worry about it. We've had 3 2-game win streaks this season, and now we face a Tampa Bay team that comes in only 3-9. And we need to keep winning to keep pace with the now first place Buffalo Bills. We are still not in a playoff spot. A late season upgrade for Eddie Devlin makes him an 82 overall. I want to see where the morale is. 58. Not currently impacting his overall, but we're not far away from morale making everybody a little bit better. And I don't see us making a run in the postseason without some significant morale boosting the team. We'll upgrade Earl Summers, the X-Factor linebacker. I've liked running the football so far with Weber, and we'll see a lot of that over the rest of the regular season. Here's an elusive upgrade for vision, juke, spin, change of direction. I would like to move Deontay Mallard above Emmett Barnes on the depth chart. As I'm playing a little bit more aggressively in coverage, I simply need the athleticism. I like the form our defense has been in lately. We're giving up a lot of field goals and a lot less touchdowns. Here in the fourth quarter, let's jump in. Montreal's up 4, trying to build a 2-score lead on Tampa. Whiteside is in the game at running back. And here is a throw from Devlin. He's going up top for Fulcher and is denied. Now back to pass, looking for Blaylock. Caught it. He's got the first down. We've run this play many times with Barnes. This time it's out to Weber in space. He's across for the touchdown. Montreal, 2-score lead. Tampa Bay down 11. Thomas helps break that pass up. It is 3rd and 13. I want to play a lot more press coverage. I think that's a style that we can do fairly well. This is going up top. Matthews, all you, made the play. This to make it an 8-point game. Tampa still in it. After a sack, they may get one more possession, and they will. Back at the 20-yard line, Tampa Bay, no timeouts. Can we seal this for a third consecutive win? The quarterback is Everett Meadows, and he looks to throw on second down. Thomas, he just plays better. He has 2 pass breakups in this game already from what we've played. He had like 3 on this season. I think he's best as like a press cover 2 corner. Kind of a old school mid-2000s kind of role, but it can work. He's in the zone. Third down and 4. Meadows. Got it. We may give up more of those hole shot throws, but that is a difficult pass. And we saw earlier in the video when Artie Barlow was able to make a play on a similar, I don't think that was even a cover 2, but it was a similar type of throw. Thomas breaks that one up. We don't necessarily have to play hard flats, but just the press coverage, I think, is going to lead to more contested catches, maybe more big plays from the opposition. But I'm willing to take that risk. 50 seconds on the clock. Meadows will take it underneath. The tight end can really hurt us with this style of play if we just only play cover 2. That's not the only thing we're going to run. But I think it's pretty telling when Azareye'h Thomas has as many deflections here in like the 4th quarter of this game as he did the first 12 games. That one is dumped off. And we've played a lot of cover 2. We just haven't played a lot of cover 2 press coverage. That's the secret sauce. Deep ball, incomplete. Thomas on the coverage. Game now on the line. 20 seconds on the clock. Meadows, good coverage. Takes a shot, and it's nearly caught. But incomplete, this game is over. Montreal soaring to an 8-5 record as they defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it feels like defensively, a corner may have been turned. Now, we've been simulating pretty well. I've been trying to get it so when we're actually in game, I can put us in a position to make plays. And we've always been good in cover 2. How about this run defense today? That is elite stuff. This is like Vikings, Williams, Wall type of production. When we were playing Barnes in the slot, I knew I couldn't get away with a lot of man coverage or a lot of press. And that just kind of leaves us playing a lot of passive zone and zone blitzing. And I think zone blitz is a situational thing for me. It's not a style of play. It's something I break out on like 3rd and 7 when I'm willing to give up the flats and I want to send an extra defender. Zone blitzing historically in Madden, I find to be easily beaten by the CPU unless you use it situationally. We'll upgrade Hugh Jackson, who's been quieter this season. An awareness boost is always nice. And that's one of the ratings that I think really lags behind in our overall development. We can get a lot of core ratings better, but I think it's actually a big hole in our team where not that many players actually have high awareness. And you can develop players that become starters in their 80s for overall, and then their awareness is still like a 68 in the case of Emmett Barnes. There is now a 3-way tie in the AFC East, 8-5 between Buffalo, Montreal, and New England. Here is Miguel Ortiz, our sack leader this season. The 24-year-old is now up to 13 sacks in his breakout year. And Chad Jennings upgrades here the same week. 2 points of awareness, an ability slot is opened up. Let's see what we can do now. We have 3 options. I like this under pressure one, and I think having both defensive tackles with that ability just gives us so much chance to manipulate the center of the pocket. And Carson Brake. He gets the field general boost. Nice accuracy upgrade for the superstar rookie. Win streak in jeopardy now against Indianapolis. We are out of timeouts in the 4th quarter. The offense could be better than they've been in recent weeks. 14-10, the defense has done their job. Wow, injury timeout there. Stops the clock. Got to keep them from getting a first down, but Indianapolis will with running back B.J. Williams. So that is the end of the Montreal winning streak. We fall to 8-6. In the past, when we've made the postseason, it's been with 11-6 records. To match that, we'd have to win the last 3 games. Devlin certainly hasn't had this great season. I'd say that Max Wilbon has shown a pretty high ceiling at times, but a very low floor as well. Whereas I'd say Devlin has been more stable, but hasn't had the huge breakout games very often. So I really want to get him to 3,500 yards and to get us in the postseason. And then see where that can put us. Because he would get a bunch of boosts then going into his first playoff run. But if we check out his stats, 62% completion percentage and 6.6 yards per attempt is not far away from what Max Wilbon was doing. But Wilbon was averaging more yards in those seasons, plus he was getting more touchdowns. We're in pretty good shape, though. He only needs to average 161 yards over the last 3 games just to reach that milestone. So if he's healthy, he should. And 2 of these games are against teams that currently have 3 wins or less. So we lost last week, but so did the Bills and the Patriots. We just gave up an opening drive 51-yard touchdown to Cam Scatterbo. New York scores the first 10, and then we fumble the ball in the red zone. I don't doubt that we're missing Elijah Dunn, but the pass game is also underperforming. This is going to be Bradford on the catch. Devlin's at 61 yards. We're going to run Whiteside now, and he gets us the first. Running up the middle with Weber, he gains 5. And there's Bradford on the catch. Trying to jumpstart things. Here is 3rd and 7. That's Barnes, the motion man. And what a catch. He has the best hands, I think, on the roster. Oh, what a job blocking for Weber. He's loose to the 10. He will take it in. Can't block that play any better. Touchdown, Snowhawks. And the Giants just went 3 and out, giving us a second 2-minute drill, essentially. We have a minute on the clock. It's getting dumped off to Weber. He's in the open field again. We're going to Barnes this time. A quick dash to the sideline. Fastest 9 yards you can get is in the hands of Denario Barnes. 54 on the clock. We're going to dump this one off to Weber, and we're in field goal range. Throw high. He threw it over the head of Barnes. So we're not going to tie the game on this possession. And the Giants driving in the 3rd. We're taking a lot of negative plays in this game. They still have a really good pass rush. And they're looking to extend their lead. Man, this would be really disappointing if we can't find a way to win. But we're just, every drive has a sack. I'm pretty sure Abdul Carter has like 5. Got to get it to Barnes and see if we can make some plays. He's at 7 for 57. That's a very low yards per catch. Man, he was just open. Didn't see it until it was a little late. Man, that's a fumble. Is there a point to stepping up in the pocket with this team? I'm starting to think maybe I had it right before. Back to pass, looking for a big play, and Blaylock is overthrown. Wow, I think we got a turnover. Azarie Thomas. We finally have a short field. What can we do with it? Under 5 minutes to play. Wide open is Blaylock to the 10. Brought down at the 7. We have put Justice Pleasant in the game. I want a fresh running back in on 3rd down, and Pleasant's first carry is a touchdown. And we are lined up to go for the 2. Pass is intercepted. That was a bad play. Defense trying to keep us in it, though. Under 3 minutes left. Out goes Scatabo. And looking for 7. It is incomplete. Matias on the coverage. We're going to give this one to Whiteside, and he's got 7. Barnes lines up in the backfield on 3rd down. It's a throw his way. Denario Barnes gets the first down. Devlin's going to take off. Look at all this room. Eddie Devlin to the 18. Now, I really want to try to score without using a timeout because I have to get a 2-point conversion, and that's usually at best a coin flip. So this is going to the end zone. Overthrown for Blaylock. Here's the pass from Devlin, and he overthrew him again. Why can't he hit that throw? I'm going to make a crazy decision here. And it almost got blocked. All right, so the thought there is 8 points only ties the game anyway, and it would leave them time with 3 timeouts. So I'd rather kick the field goal, have a chance at the onside kick, and then we have 3 timeouts to try to get the ball back where we have a chance to then win it. And they'll recover the onside. I just didn't feel, confident enough in 4th and 10 against this pass rush. I kind of like our chances to just get a 3 and out. So it's a quarterback keep. And that is no gain. He's throwing on 2nd down. Wide open. It always surprises me when they're willing to throw in these moments. They've gotten a lot more aggressive than past years, where it could be 3 more predictable runs. So the Giants will take us down. This is a really bad loss these last 2 weeks. To go from 8-5 to 8-7 really puts us in a tough spot the last 2. Some of these games I'd probably manage differently with a different team. But just having a team with limitations, sometimes I talk myself into alternative strategies, let's say. But I don't like the shape of our offense right now very much. And I think we're going to have to win our last 2 games to have a good chance at the playoffs. Mitchell Bergstrom upgrades, always good for the center to get better. And then Cole Bradford. Great playmaker. Awareness, catching traffic, short route running. Very good upgrade. The Bills are in first place. And that's who we face next. We're currently on the outside looking in, but there are a lot of 8-7 teams. The 6th seed and the 10th seed have the same record. And we lost to the Bills back in week 1. So I think our best hope now is to beat them here, beat the Dolphins in week 18. And that would give us a 5-1 division record. And if we can do that, I think we'd win the division. The Bills are currently 4-1. Yeah, if we beat them and then beat Miami, we'll take the division. Devlin needs 260 yards over the last 2 games to hit 3,500. We might get Elijah Dunn back for the Miami game. So we need to get 1 big win without him. Buffalo, Montreal. This is one of the biggest games. It might as well be just an early start to the playoffs. Here we go. Handled by York on the return. Now let's try to get this offense to an early start. Tyquan Weber in the backfield, running ahead for a gain of 2. He's actually had a higher average this season than Elijah Dunn because he's hit a couple big runs that have propped up his average. Devlin rolling, and they wrapped him up. Sacked. Bradford. Dude, I don't know why he can't hit this throw. Every time he throws a deep corner route, it is over his head. We hit a big play on our next possession. Down for a touchdown, Jeremy Blaylock. Let's go. Montreal, big play touchdown, Cole Bradford. It's 14-0. Remember how the season began against this team. They were really good. And they have a good quarterback here replacing Josh Allen. Let's see if we've learned anything. Thurmond empty. Wants to go after this secondary. And he throws over the middle, getting the first down. Trying to get some pressure on Thurmond. He got his man. Thurmond off the fake. Wants to go deep. Matthews in coverage. Swats it away. They'll run on third down and get the conversion. Thurmond under pressure. Ortiz was there, and Javier Villa makes the sack. Thurmond hit down. Stecker brings him down. It is back-to-back sacks. Terrific first half for Montreal. Looking to add a little bit more now before halftime. It's going to be a pass that Bradford pulls down. Devlin with over 140 yards and 2 touchdowns in the half. That's pretty big for him. We're going to dump this one underneath and get Kevin Fulcher across the 45. Blaylock sits it down. 30 seconds left as we burn our last timeout. Here is Devlin letting it develop, sailing. Fulcher pulls it down. He's at the 5. And we've got to hurry up. Guys, don't celebrate. Kevin, stop that. I don't have us set up to spike, though. This has to be just a quick throw. No need to panic. We have 14 seconds. Just don't take a sack. Barnes on the catch. We got the touchdown. We finally hit a big play down the field, and it wasn't even Barnes who secured it. Kevin Fulcher's biggest catch, perhaps, of the year. A night and day difference from week 1 when we faced the Bills and lost the opener. Montreal driving to begin the second half, and they have gone up 28-3. Speaking of 28-3, Falcons fans, how are we feeling about Tua? Buffalo trying to cut into this lead. Slinging end zone. It is behind the receiver, and suddenly 4th down where the Bills will trim it to a 2-score game. A 4-touchdown day for Eddie Devlin. He's come pretty far, and that 268, that's going to give him 3,500 yards on the season. So this is one of the best games of his career. It's the game that gets him to that milestone. And after this, the upgrades are going to pour in. So this feels like a true turning point. What a fitting game for him to reach that milestone. Now, let's go beat Sean McVay and the Buffalo Bills. Guess who's in the zone? Eddie Devlin. Looks like we're getting cover 1 man on this play. Barnes, catch and run. They'll chase him to the 37. A 300-yard, 4-touchdown day. Eddie Devlin has arrived. And the screen gets dumped out to Quentin Whiteside. Nice move around 2 defenders as he tumbles down at the 22. Kelvin Burnett is the motion man. Quickly dishing to the second tight end. Even he gets in on the action. Weber in the game. And Devlin hands. He gets the first down. Nice catch. That's Bradford. Down to the 2. We've gone to our power I. What's better than one fullback? How about 2? We needed 3, though. We're going to kick the shortest field goal possible, so it's a 3-score game. Statement win for Montreal. And we now move into first place in the AFC East. One more win against Miami, and we should be back in the playoffs. I don't think he's had a better game in the NFL than this, and it was the biggest spot of the year in prime time against the Bills. Eddie Devlin has arrived. Bradford had 100 yards. Barnes scored twice. Blaylock had a touchdown. And our defense racked up some good production, getting some sacks. So Eddie Devlin now gets 3 upgrades. Remember, Max Wilbon got 10 when it happened to him, partially because he was such a low overall player. It's just tougher to upgrade Devlin because he was already like an 83. I forget how much XP was actually gained when Wilbon did that, but in this case, it's 11.5K. We'll start off with Improviser, getting break, sack, deep accuracy, and medium accuracy. And on some of those deep corners, you can tell that there's, something else he needs to his game. So downfield accuracy, I think, will go a long way if we keep trying to make those throws. And we'll get deep accuracy, short, and under pressure. Followed by field general. And we'll now get awareness, play action, throw under pressure. I especially like getting awareness boosts for simulation purposes. It still shows us being the second place team in the East. Buffalo is 4-2 in division. We're 4-1, so it really should be putting us above them. But I guess if we finish 5-1 in division and go 10-7, then it should vault us. What a fitting team to face in Week 18. Devlin has hit his milestones and just had the best game of his career. Elijah Dunn comes back from injury, but what a job by Taquan Weber this season, averaging 5.2 yards an attempt. Denario Barnes needs 55 yards to reach 1,000. Kevin Fulcher has actually surpassed both Bradford and Blaylock. That is shocking. And defensively, Miguel Ortiz, 14.5 sacks. Stecker and Jennings just go split one and they'll both hit 10. Javier Villa could also reach 10. And we only have a handful of interceptions this season. So we're looking for one more great game to bring us back to the playoffs. Montreal gets out to a great start, quickly going up 21-0. And this might be the most dominant game of the series. We're not even going to jump into this one. We have won the game 38-0. Wow. What a way to finish the year, 10-7. And I believe we should now be division champions for the very first time. 4 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. Eddie Devlin, now at 84 overall, is the highest rated quarterback we've ever had, and just played the 2 best games he ever has. Elijah Dunn and Taquan Weber split the backfield up. Weren't all that efficient. Denario Barnes, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think that puts him right at 1,000 or potentially like a yard under. I forget what number he had. Jennings will reach 10 sacks again this season after a slow start. But I'm ready for playoff football. Yeah, Barnes had 999 yards receiving this year to go with 119 rushing. 20 carries feels low. I feel like I got him way more this year. We advance to the wild card round, and the Snowhawks will be hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. We are the 4th seed in the conference. We did it. Back to the postseason after last year's step back. Wow, now the Steelers signed B.J. Hyde off of our practice squad, and they're not even playing football. They just signed him and their season's over. So we won't have an extra 80 overall running back for next year. Thanks, Pittsburgh. After all we did for you in the Steelers franchise. How did we end up suddenly with the number 3 scoring defense? I know we played well down the stretch, but I didn't think a simple good streak could end up changing the average like that. I guess there was a 7, a 12, a 14, a 0. We have done a very good job defensively in the last 6 games. We finally reached an 85 overall for both the team offense and the defense. And I think now we are actually healthy going into January and our 3rd trip to the postseason. And we'll give Eddie Devlin one more upgrade. 2 more awareness, an ability slot is opened up. He is now a true 85 overall. This inside Deadeye might be a good ability to give him for perfect accuracy on throws inside the numbers. We got the team back on track this season. And here's our roster going into our 3rd trip to the playoffs, but our first with Eddie Devlin. We played championship football the last 2 weeks of the year. I can't wait to get to the postseason. Let's see what Kansas City looks like after all this time now. Who's still on the Chiefs that we would recognize? They have a superstar quarterback, and it's not Patrick Mahomes, it's Isaiah Stamper. They still have Trent McDuffie, but most of this roster has changed. Xavier Worthy's still here, but it's time for us to try to get our 2nd playoff win and see if we can make a run here in year 8. Quentin Whiteside on the return as we are back competing for a title. One of 14 teams in contention. Eddie Devlin's last 2 games really changed the way his stats looked. 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. Completely changes the narrative. And from the 25, running inside with Elijah Dunn, bouncing off defenders. We've seen in these playoff games us get overwhelmed by elite defensive linemen. There is one player that's an X factor at D tackle. Up the middle with Dunn, angling out, trying to extend it. He's to the 43. Back to the air. There is Fulcher. How about that protection? Dunn, throw a block. Fulcher's loose. 57-yard touchdown for Montreal. We had all day to throw it. Fulcher ran all the way across the field horizontally and then had to turn up to run another 50 yards. And what a block he gets from Elijah Dunn. How about that start? Will our defense now be able to keep up this play facing the top teams in the AFC? This run is stuffed. Stamper underneath. That's where teams are going to be able to get the best yardage against us when we're playing cover 2. Play action KC. Wow, that was nearly picked by Thomas. Good spin. Dumped outside, though. Walters to the 50. Dan Quinn is now the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. On 3rd and 1, they'll get it. Pressure. Down goes Stamper. That is Javier Villa. Back at the 41. Chiefs facing a tough 3rd down outside of field goal range. And Stamper finds Worthy. Play fake. Villa returns. And down goes Stamper. On 3rd down, Stamper. No, it is incomplete. We eventually get off the field. Matthews on the hit. Here is a 57-yard field goal try. Kansas City. This kick is good. Interception is thrown on our next possession, giving KC a short field. We jump back in with the defense. And Stamper knocked down by Thomas. Kansas City gets it to 3rd and 2. Trying to force another field goal try, and they just basically ran a pick play. Touchdown, KC. Now trailing. Got it to Barnes, and he's getting loose. Cutting back to the 35 of Kansas City. There we go. Cut back from Dunn. Yeah, it's good to have him healthy and good to go here in the postseason. I like running with Elijah Dunn. 3rd and 1. Play action. Big time throw, and it's Barnes. I was expecting them to sell out a bit tougher to stop the run. That's why I got out of our run. Here is Dunn, the safety. Barely slowed him down. Uh-oh. Logan at guard is now coming off the field. 2nd and inches. No way. We just lost another lineman, and that's McCann. 2 linemen left in the span of 2 plays, but Tyquan Weber punches in the touchdown. And both should return at some point. Kansas City driving, and they'll put together another good possession that will not get a touchdown, it looks like. We're going to jump back in late in the first half. The Chiefs have added the field goal, so they lead the game by 2. We're going short for Fulcher, getting the first down. 23 seconds on the clock. This is Blaylock to midfield. We'll spend the last timeout. That's done in motion. And we're going to go short. Fulcher out of bounds. We really have one play that has to be a quick one to try to get into field goal range. So here we go. From the 45, they defend it perfectly. Barnes, no. Let's try a long field goal from 62. Little bit of wind. We got Josh Sanchez with a strong leg. Kick on the way. Got it. Pretty easily. The wind doesn't even seem to play much of a factor in this game. We take the lead before half. We recovered a fumble to start the 3rd quarter. Montreal into the red zone. Here is our opportunity. Kansas City is having mostly strong possessions. They're not going 3 and outs. They're usually getting across the 50. So trying to capitalize. Good tackle out on Dunn. And this is 3rd down and 9. Stepping up and running. Devlin dives ahead. Yes, I was trying to dive. We're leaving the offense on. 4th and inches. Done. Got it. 2nd and goal. Pressure's coming. Looking for Barnes. No. 3rd and goal from the 9. Thrown up. Barnes came away with it at the 2. I want the touchdown. Here's the look they'll give us. 4th and goal. We're going. And Blaylock makes the catch. There it is. Touchdown, Montreal. So after all that, we'll finally extend the lead. Montreal leads it by 8. Kansas City ball, 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Stamper back to pass. Nice catch and run set up. Stamper completes. Gain of 20. Changing up our coverages. Still in press coverage, though. Almost had it. Thomas batted it away. Third down, KC. Across the middle. Design draw. Stamper runs in the touchdown for the Chiefs. This is to tie it at 24. Isaiah Stamper got it to Worthy. What a catch. Next drive for Kansas City. There's just no slowing this team down early in drives. 7 minutes to go as we jump back in. Stamper somehow, man. It's frustrating to give up passes like that between defenders. And that route wasn't like a nice timing play. He just threw it perfectly. Third down and 4. And you got to worry about his scrambling. On the carry, there's some room, and Kansas City will get the touchdown with 5 minutes left. Big drive for Devlin. 5 minutes on the clock. And the throw's picked. I don't know. I was trying to predict him getting behind that guy and probably rush what I was trying to do. Yeah, he was just in good coverage. Gotta stop him. They're in field goal range, though. 4 minutes left. Stamper looks to throw. Extends. Perfect ball. That's a touchdown. We just cannot stop these guys. Bradford's going to take this one to the 39. I had such a good feeling going into this game, especially getting that stop and the Fulcher touchdown to open the game. But man, this is a really good Kansas City team. We're still getting some yards here, and if we can score or keep our timeouts, we'll have a chance for our defense. Stamper's one of those quarterbacks, though, that just feels like you can't force him into a mistake. Looking for Barnes. That is the money ball right there. Maybe we're turning the corner on some of those deep balls with Devlin. Those deep corners. Let's go for Blaylock now. Nice catch. It's a touchdown. And there is still a lot of time on the clock. And we are going for 2. And the pass. Oh! It was knocked out of Barnes' hands. That was such a bizarre play. I had to give us a chance to try to win this game in regulation. We're going to kick it deep, though. Give us a little bit of room for error. We have the 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts now. Chiefs will start with a quarterback keeper. Get him, Barlow. Nope, stiff-armed. Lost the ball! And we got it! We got the ball! Stamper coughed it up. Snowhawks take over. And that should stand. What a play. It looked like a great play for Kansas City with him stiff-arming Barlow to the ground. But then he reaches ahead. And that ball just rests. And we're the only ones who can get to it. We're going to get one to Barnes here. Take him across the 40. So we are going to have this hit the 2-minute warning here shortly. But I really want to score fast and give us, insurance if the 2-point doesn't work out. Devlin, 2 minutes on the clock. Go deep. Barnes, open, caught, touchdown! Denario Barnes beats press coverage. We're a 2-point try from tying the game. What a sequence for Montreal when you gotta have it. Here is our 2-point try, and they're sending pressure. Overthrown for Denario Barnes. So we need that extra stop. And I'm not kicking onside. Kansas City takes over in a 2-point game. And we need to get this football back. We know they might be willing to throw it still. Stamper, shotgun, 2 tight ends on the field. It begins with a run. Good one for Kansas City. So he's going to get 11 there. I'd rather him get 11 than 9. Just get your first down. We still have 2 timeouts. We can't let it happen again, though. Draw play. Get him. Stamper. Hit down. Anytime the quarterback's got it, you've got a better chance at a fumble recovery. They're letting Stamper win this game. Empty. Isaiah Stamper. Good coverage. He's sacked. Back at the 31. They didn't have a lot of guys in the pattern there, and we had everything covered. They had 2 guys in block and release and never ended up releasing till it was too late. Yeah, everybody else was doubled. Extra DB on the field, 3rd and 17. Now we can't stop the clock. Stamper, hit, incomplete, that'll stop it for us. Darnell Stecker. And we're getting the ball. We need a field goal. Denario Barnes is back deep. Get ready to block. Heading left. And now right. Up across the 35-yard line. We have 1:26 to play. Here we go. Season on the line. It is off the mark. Try to get that to Dunn. Back to pass. Throwing to the defense. No. Man. Heavy pressure again when it matters most. Was looking for Blaylock. I didn't even see him there because you just have so many players in that area. And right here, he's kind of blocked. But man, came so close. It is so hard to win these playoff games. It's basically a 4-game boss rush for us to go win a Super Bowl with a team that has one of the worst offensive lines in the league. It's so hard. Kansas City wins, and the Snowhawks season has just come to an end. I wasn't ready for it to be over. It feels like we lost this game twice. Because I couldn't believe we pulled off that late comeback anyway. But 2 late interceptions will do it. 3 total for Devlin. Stamper gifted us that fumble opportunity. Back to the drawing board, though. Trying to get some contract offers in before we actually reach the offseason. We are going to see quarterback Max Wilbon hit free agency. He did not play this year for us at all. Here's a big one as we attempt to get Elijah Dunn under contract, and we do. We'll get Juan Corbett. Definitely want Josh Sanchez back at over $6 million a year. We'll have some more decisions to make for next season, including with running back Quentin Whiteside. Man, that is just such a tough way for it to end, and there aren't many good ways for it to end. Eddie Devlin does have a successful second year, and we got him a lot of good development this season. We still saw him take a lot of sacks, and I think that overall the season was very up and down. But I'd be excited to see what the future with Devlin looks like as he continues to get upgrades, hopefully adding stability and a better floor to our team. We're still waiting for that year where we can open the season like 5-2. The reason these episodes take so long is because the regular season is giving us like the longest experience. We start poorly. We need to get wins. We do, but then we're always teetering on the edge of contention. So I always slow it down as we see if we can actually make it back to the postseason. I was actually prepared to make this a 2-season video in the beginning because I thought we were on the way to like a 2-6 start. And if that happened, I was just going to basically sim through the year, call it the development year for Devlin, and then just move on to the next season. But like we've done in the past, we start winning at just the right time. And then we had a really good last 2 games going into the postseason. And I thought this could be a good opportunity for us to make a run. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So when it comes to this team now, how open is this window? Luckily for us, we don't have very many players that are actually regressing. We've seen it from Quentin Whiteside. We're about to have a 30-year-old linebacker, a 30-year-old cornerback. So we may see some light regression in the near future, but right now the roster is either plateauing or getting better. Still, we reached 85 this season. We've gotten some high upside players. Maybe not enough to really give this team a chance to be one of the best in the league. I think no matter what, we're going to be underdogs at some level. I still think this year is a solid step in the right direction as Leon Daniels is the runner-up for Coach of the Year. Stamper made it to the Pro Bowl. Not that it makes the loss feel any better. Delonte Parham is a Pro Bowler. Not Denario Barnes this season. Miguel Ortiz is in for the first time. Yeah, we got him to hit his ceiling this season. Josh Sanchez is also a Pro Bowler. We got more high-profile retirements around the league, and here are the results of this season as the Jaguars are the champions, defeating the Arizona Cardinals 23-20. Liam Cohen gets Coach of the Year and the Super Bowl in the same season. Here are the retirements. Looking to see if there are any Snowhawks. Doesn't appear so. Here's our roster. Looking at dev traits. Jeremy Blaylock lost his X Factor and is down to Superstar again. That's not cool. He had a good season too. 650 yards, 5 touchdowns. It was a step down. It's part of the regression though. And it has begun for our star tight end. The defense sees Azarie Thomas lose his X Factor, Chad Jennings lose his, Jordan Rivera loses his. So now we're down to Summers, Ortiz, and Matthews as our X Factor players. Is the window closing for this team? A lot of these players have been here for the entire series, or at the least most of it. Yep, Jordan Rivera regresses at age 30. Has to be expected. The regression isn't significant, but, losing the dev traits there does hurt. And I don't like thinking about trying to replace any of these players. Jennings at 29. I was surprised he lost his. He had a really good season, and all he lost was his development trait. And that was after a 10.5 sack season. At the very least, we now have Eddie Devlin with a high ceiling, and he is only 24 years old. A high-level quarterback should give us some stability, but I still worry about the postseason and the types of games we have to play to win those games. Our defense played so well there in the regular season, and then we get to the playoffs again. It happened against the Titans. It happened again against the Chiefs. These are high-scoring games, very difficult games, some of the hardest I've ever played in this series. What do we have to do to make those games more winnable? Devlin now has a significant sample of play, and in his career, he's been far more efficient than Max Wilbon, who is about to become a free agent. I'm very curious now where Wilbon goes because he is a top 32 quarterback. He's number 21. He should be starting for a team next year. There is a very good chance, I'd say at some point, we actually get to play versus Max Wilbon in this series. That's going to be interesting. Elijah Dunn is quickly closing in on Quentin Whiteside's rushing success. He's been more efficient. He's gotten touchdowns at a pretty high clip. Jeremy Blaylock has over 500 receptions. Denario Barnes, 257, 23 receiving touchdowns for the dynamic receiver who's now 26. I still think this team has a window. But if you're talking about with our defense, I feel like it's a little bit shorter window than we'd like it to be. Maybe 2 years before some serious overhauling needs to happen to areas of the roster to stay competitive. Thomas and Rivera can't do it forever. And Nick Matias, he's getting closer to his regression. As I've done this series, I wasn't sure how long it would go, but I wanted to try and win a Super Bowl. If we do get stability from Devlin and we start to be a better team during the regular season, I could see faster experiences there, focusing more on trying to win in the playoffs, potentially doing multiple seasons in a video that way. We'll see. We have never had it easy in the regular season, so I can't assume that it's around the corner, even with a quarterback now that gives us a chance at one of the best in the league. Let me know down below how you guys are feeling about the series at this point. It's been a couple months. This is now the 8th episode, and I'm not done. With an X-Factor quarterback, we have to see if we can make it work in Devlin's prime. Trying to project to next episode, I think there is a great need to get some players on roster that we feel might actually be able to take over for some of these players. It's especially tough at corner. I think we've only had 2 really good cornerbacks in the series. It's a very hard position to get right, and we've been lucky to be in the situation we've had. But that is going to wrap up year 8 with the Montreal Snowhawks. What a season. We turned it into something exciting at the least. Leon Daniels is no longer in last place in coach win percentage, but we are 1-3 now in the playoffs. And that's where we need to find a way to be successful. That's going to be it for this one, everybody. Hope you enjoyed and are looking forward to more with the Snowhawks. Leave your thoughts below in the comments, and I will be back again soon to continue our quest of building a championship team with undrafted free agents and practice squad talent. Take care. See you in the next one.